Wysteria, energy, twister.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Poems of Dreams. We are now on doves. So back then in 1855, apparently if you dreamt of doves, with them being those kind of birds, it was a sign of Venus, the goddess Venus. But it was also a sign of a honest maiden, or an honest matron. Now if we dream of doves, depending in what context, it usually can mean peace, tranquility, purity, love, friendship, marriage, things like that, I guess. But back then it was for that reason. The poem. But a form unseen was near him, ever on his perilled way, o'er the roaring pass to cheer him, on the giddy steep to stay. Oft in the sleep it rose before him, visibly a snow-white dove, and through swooping falcons bore him to a world of peace and love. The next poem. What is that, mother? The dove, my son, and that low sweet voice, like a widow's moan, in flowing out from her gentle breast, constant and pure by that lonely nest, as the wave is poured from some crystal urn, for a distant dear one's quick return. Ever, my son, be thou like the dove, in friendship as faithful and constant your love. The next is the dragon. To dream of slaying a dragon back then meant you were going to gain a knighthood or a kingdom. Obviously, that's not how it goes now. But to dream of a dragon now is a sign of wisdom, knowledge, honourability, being honoured, gaining something in wisdom and knowledge. And dragons are the old wise ones, of course, and were very knowledgeable. Something that people forget. They often think of dragon and they see these monstrous beings that set fire to everything. Well, actually, it's not really how it goes, and we do believe, if we look through history, that dragons did come from lizards and things, and even possibly dinosaur fossils made them think they were dragons. But the point is, they came in every aspect: water, air, earth, fire, ether. So not all dragons went round rampaging, burning things down, But I understand Hollywood makes you think like that about dragons, but that's not the case. They are the old wise ones, and they have a lot of knowledge. So if you dream about them, it's a very good thing indeed. They're very noteworthy. The poem. Oh, there was a dragon of might, once lived in you mountain grey. Like a monster of ton, he went raking all night, and dozed nearly all the day. And there was a king with a gallant ring of noble stout and good, and he had a daughter, but all confessed the mirror of maidenhood. So the dragon came down one summer night, and ceremony soaring, and also ceremony scorning, he twisted his tail around the virgin bright, and was off at a moment's warning. Then up and arose Sir Siegfried bald to the dragon's rocky bed. What ho, thou traitor linden worm? I am come for thy craven head. And the sweep of his good swords, ball among, and he cut the beast in twain, as lightly as a skilful leech would breathe the lady vain. And the monarch hath taken Sir Siegfried's hand, and called him his son. A kingdom and a bride, the knight, by a single blow hath won. Oh, had the doughty champion but a little prudence known, with the kingdom he had been content, and left the bride alone. very nice of him, but okay. Interesting indeed. You know, if you go, I have a section on dragons, the wise ones, and it is a full course on dragons because I did a course myself on all magical things and how you meditate to get that strength that's needed. And if you go to my dragon playlist, the wise one, you can learn all about the different dragons, why they were called that, and where they came from, and you know, all the stuff that people assume, I guess. And you can also learn the myths surrounding them, because there's actually quite a few in Britain, believe it or not. We're on to drowning now. To dream of drowning alone, it's, well, back then it was an acquisition of money or property, but if you were drowned by another person, it's a sign of loss or ruin. Now, today, what we generally, drowning today is not actually a sign of ruin or death or loss. It's a sign of becoming over emotional, having too many emotions that they are bearing down on you. In some cases, it can also be a sign of feeling like the whole world's on your shoulders. You can't breathe, you can't, you know, it's that kind. So it's very different now to what it was back then, but I can understand why. It's just because times have changed, I suppose. Anyway, the poem. Oh, I have passed a miserable night, so full of fearful dreams of ugly sights, that, as I am Christian faithful man, I would not spend another such night. Methought that I had broken from the tower, and was embarked to cross to Burgundy, and in my company my brother Gloucester, whom from my cabin tempted me to walk upon the hatches. Thence we looked towards England, and sighted up 1,000 heavy times. Oh, during the war of York and Lancaster, that had befallen us, as we paced along upon the giddy footing of hatches, methought that Gloucester stumbled, and, in falling, struck me that thought to stay him overboard into the tumbling billows of the main. O Lord, methought what pain it was to drown, what dreadful noise of water in mine ears, what sights of ugly death within mine eyes. Methought I saw 1,000 fearful wrecks, 1,000 men that fishers gnawed upon, wedges of gold, great anchors, heaps of pearl, inestimable tones and stones unveiled the jewels, all scattered and withered in the bottom of the sea. Some lay in dead men's skulls, and in those holes where the eyes did once inhabit, there were crept, as 'twere in scorn of eyes, reflecting gems, that wooed the slimy bottom of the deep, and mocked the dead bones that lay scattered by. I guess that's an interesting story. Well, I say poem regarding what you would find under the ocean. You probably would find stuff like that. I can't really imagine, to be honest. I mean, the sea is the oldest thing going, right? The next is eagle. So apparently back then, if you dreamt of an eagle perched up high, you know, on a tree or something right high in a good place, it was a good omen for the brave and bold. But not very good for the people that are cowards, because it meant they were going to get caught. It could be an encouraging sign to dream of it, because it could mean that you can go it alone, so to speak, and you will be successful. Now, if you dream, it says, to be borne away upon an eagle, death to the kings. Obviously, that's 1855. It really, that makes no sense now, but yeah. Thou art perched aloft on the beetling crag, and the waves are white below, and on with haste that cannot lag. They rush in such an endless flow. Again thou hast plumed thy wing, took a flight to lands beyond the sea, and away like a spirit wreathed in light, thou buryest wild and free, Lord of the boundless realm of air, in thy imperial name, the hearts of the bold and orient dare the dangerous path of fame. Beneath the shadow of thy golden wings, the Roman legions bear and bore from the river of Egypt's cloudy springs their pride to the polar shore. Because eagles are very much associated with pride and honour. That's why. In dreams today, they're associated with having a spirit guide. You know, your animal spirit guide would be an eagle. If you dream of an eagle often and it's showing you things and leading you to things in dreams, then it's generally because it is your spirit guide. That's its job. Anyway, then we're on to eating. Now, if you dream of eating back then, it was said to, well, something to do with being anemic, which I'm not sure about that now. I'm pretty sure that's not with it. If you dreamt of eating at home with your family, it was a good sign that good things to come and, you know, happy times. But if you dream of eating with enemies, then obviously it's telling you to be careful and warning you there's something not so good to come from someone that you're unsure of. Yeah, interesting though. Eating. So let's look at the poem. When at the board, let hate forget the bitterest words of yesterday. For where the bread and salt have met, all thoughts of death should pass away. I swore that Wysteria should die, wherever Wysteria I found, if every friend and foe stood nigh, if all the deaths were laughing round. But one short dream has blown my rage to heaven above, or hell below. For as the wild wolf hunts the deer, for as the winger strives the snow, I dreamed last night we met at port, and eat together frank and free. I gave him bread, I gave him salt, and he poured vodka out for me. The man who sees the sun in sleep should never wake to seek for showers. And if I love in dreams, I'll keep no hatred for my waking hours. For at the board let hate forget the bitterness words of yesterday, and where the bread and salt have met, all thoughts of death should pass away. Very interesting. Basically, that poem's saying, if you were eating with someone, you should not be thinking about killing them. That's what it means. Anyway, guys, thank you for listening to this episode. I will see you in the next episode. Many blessings.
Wysteria. Energy. Twister.